Hello, I'm Dr. Kenneth Goldberg, and I'm the author of The Homework Trap: How to Save the Sanity of Parents, Students, and Teachers. Today's comment follows an article I saw in Education Week that reviewed studies on efforts to improve working memory, and the study suggested that these programs do not really work, and that it's not really that easy to improve a child's working memory. The article caught my attention because one of the fundamental concepts of the homework trap model that I promote is that children who have persistent homework problems have what I call under the radar learning problems. And although those under the radar learning problems could be anything, the two that I think are most central are problems of working memory and problems of processing speed. Working memory has to do with the ability to hold on to information as new information is coming in, and is closely allied to other concepts such as auditory processing and attention. Because what ends up is that when the child cannot process auditory information, cannot hold on to the information that the child has received, the child starts to appear inattentive. Um, you could give me a lecture on a topic, quantum physics, that if I don't understand it, I'm going to start looking at attentive pretty quickly, and that's going to be true for children if they're getting materials that they can't handle. So, well, one of the things I've always said is that there should be some combination. There should be some combination of accommodation and remediation. That if you have a deficit, the first thing is you want to accommodate. You don't want to demand that the child has to do things that they can't do. And then if there's a way to remediate it, then you can remediate it. So if you can improve the problem, say the next year, the year after, sometime in the future, then that's fine. Maybe you can expect the child to do more at that point. But until you reach that point, you need to modify the requirement. According to this article, it's not that easy to improve a child's working memory. And I think the key is that we need to deal with children the way they are, as opposed to the way we think they might theoretically be. I mean, we do that all the time. We put a child who's 6 years old in first grade. We don't expect that child to have the types of skills, maturity, patience to handle third grade. We don't just say go into third grade and act like a third grader. We want the child to go to first grade and act like a first grader. And then among first graders, people vary in their strength and in their skills. I was always very good at math. I learned to write. It was a little harder for me. I was terrible at foreign languages. It just never came to me. Uh, but but those areas that I wasn't that strong at, I was able to get around a lot because they were not viewed as the core issues that every kid has to do. Well, obviously every kid has to learn to read and to write and to do math, and we want kids to have a fundamental basic education, whatever direction they go. But the most important point is to take seriously the realities of what can be taught and what can't be taught, to recognize that we're all moving into adulthood in different directions, and we all have roles, we all have different strengths, and that if you can remediate a deficiency, fine, and go on with the child's education. If you can't remediate a deficiency, work with the child the way that child is. If a child has limited working memory, develop strategies that teach the child with the working memory the child has, not the working memory you might think the child should have. And of course, to do that, teachers are going to have their greatest influence if they keep the bulk of what they do uh, their students in front of them in their classrooms. After all, they're professionally trained teachers. We respect them. They have skills, and we expect them to use those skills when they're with their students. And the more they depend on children having characteristics they don't have, doing things in environments that the teachers don't control, under the supervision of people who are different and run their families differently, is a setup for a certain number of children to do poorly. Thank you.